Hey, what's up guys, and welcome to the channel. In this week's video, I'm going to try to answer a question that I get asked a lot on IG DMs, and that's, which is harder, police or fire? Let's get into it. All right, so I get asked this question all the time on IG DMs, and it's, I'm guessing, from young people or, anyone that's thinking about becoming a first responder, and they want to know which is harder, becoming a police officer or a firefighter. And so just for context, and if you're new here, you don't know who I am, my name is Chad. I've been a first responder now for 31 years. I started in law enforcement at the tender age of 20, and in a very large department in a large city, and I'm still here, but on the fire side. But anyways, I started 30 years ago, and I was in PD for just about under 11 years. Then I made the jump to the fire service. Anyway, so I'm going to give you that perspective of both sides that I've seen and what I've experienced. So everybody's journey is going to be different, right? Whether you are a street cop, uniform patrol, or a firefighter paramedic on a suppression or a rescue unit, right? And it depends where you work. Because you can be a cop for 30 years in a small department or a big department, but your territory is, for lack of a better word, a cushy territory where you're not really getting into much or seeing a whole lot of trauma or high level stuff. And yours is going to be different than the person that works in a high crime district where they're constantly getting into things. And same goes for fire rescue, right? So you can be in a slow station where you run 4 calls a day, or you can be in a high volume call where you're running 25 calls a day with a lot of trauma, a lot of shooting, stabbings, things like that. So everybody's journey is going to be different, right? So, and that's the context where I'm going to kind of go with from here. All right, so we'll start with police, right? Because that's where I started. So if you decide to go that route, you're going to go to the police academy. And in the police academy, obviously this is after your whole hiring process, you're going to go to the police academy and you're going to learn topics like, obviously, law. Okay, you're going to have, like back when I went, you had a law exam every week. You studied Monday through Friday, and then Friday you had a test. So you're going to cover law, interpersonal skills, diversity training. You're obviously going to do defensive tactics. You're going to learn how to drive an emergency vehicle, firearms, and now they're getting more hands-on with first aid and trauma management, right? So you're going to cover all those things. In my academy class was 9 months. It's still 9 months. In some places it's 6 months. So we did the first 6 months back then at a local college. Then we went out to the street for 3 weeks unarmed with an FTO, and we rode the three different shifts. So we rode the day shift, like morning shift, like 6 to 2, 7 to 3, 8 to 4. We were one week on the afternoon shift, 2 to 10, 3 to 11, 4 to 12, things like that. And then the midnight shift, obviously, however it's called. I know it's called in different places, different things, right? So then once we were done with those 3 weeks, we went back to the academy at our training facility, our department's training facility, and we spent the last 3 months learning how that department or our department does things, right? Now that our facility has grown into its own standalone academy, so it's 9 months and you never leave, and you're just there. You do your writing assignments and then you graduate from there. So when you hit the street, you're going to have all that training and those high liability things like firearms and defensive tactics and tactical medicine and things like that. You're responsible for, right? For the rest of your career. Depending on the department, I only speak for our department, our guys are required to maybe shoot annually and requalify. So that's a whole 12 months of you riding out there with a gun on your hip, And if you never touch your gun, you never take it out, never maintenance it, never shoot it, you're going to be a liability out there. Same with the defensive tactics, right? So if you don't know how to manipulate a person or subdue a subject, and you end up becoming one of these videos that you see out there, where they just can't control them and they're going crazy, and it looks bad, right? So the more training you get, like that's why a lot of officers that are proactive and are motivated do jujitsu, so they know how to get a person to comply with as little force as possible. And again, back to the firearms. If you go out there and you are hoping, and hope is not a plan, hoping to God that if I qualified in the academy and I qualify once a year, I'm good to go. Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not how it goes when things are going fast and they happen in a split second. So that being said, it's on the individual officer to maintain a level of proficiency with those high liability training sets. So, and obviously staying current with applying a tourniquet, chest seals, and things like that. So that's on the officer. There are courses that you can go out there and take for all those things. However, it's on you. So, fire. All right, so for the fire aspect of it, right, you're going to go to an academy. I went to my fire minimum standards was 2 months. And then from there, graduated from minimum standards, took the state exam. Like I forgot to mention police, there's a state exam, obviously. Anyway, fire, took the state exam, and then went right into EMT. So you're going to go to minimum standards in fire, and you're going to learn how to pull a hose. You're going to learn about, hose pressures and the truck, and how to pull a hose line, how to pack a hose line, how to connect to a fire hydrant, how to throw ladders, how to climb a ladder with a tool, how to, whether it's a K12 saw, a chainsaw, a vent saw, a pike pole, another ladder, get on that roof and go to work with any of those tools, right? Because it's a different animal being up there on a pitched roof with a saw trying to vent a structure. So you're going to learn all that. You're going to learn about ropes and knots. You're going to learn how to tie tools with those ropes and knots, and how to lift tools to elevated platforms with the rope. You're obviously going to learn some type of first aid if you're going just a route where it's fire only, but you're going to become a first responder level of medical at least. All right, you're going to learn how to connect appliances to the hoses, all that stuff. And then you're going to learn search. All right, search blacked out. Coming in, if you're not on a hose line, how to search for victims in a structure, blacked out. You're going to go through a maze. They're going to tie you up in the maze. They're not going to tie you up, but they're going to make it uncomfortable for you, and that's a confidence booster, and just really to put you in the place where this could happen, and it's not like in Chicago fire where every fire it's 100% visibility and there's just flames popping up. No, when there's a fire, pretty much you can bet your ass you're not going to be able to see anything. You're going to be on your hands and knees if it's that hot, and you're just searching along a wall or searching on a hose line. So those are things you're going to train, and that is what you're going to come out to the street with, right? So when I came out, ended on the other end of the pipeline with EMT, went back to the academy for last few weeks of now. Since we went to the academy at a neighboring agency in the next county over, now they send us EMT, and then we came back for those that were not certified. The ones that were certified hit the street. The ones that weren't fully certified and still had to be done with everything, we went back and learned how the department does it. But anyway, now you hit the street and you have all that information and you have all those skills. Well, you need to maintain it, much like in police. The difference is in fire, we do weekly, monthly drills, right? So if you're on a fire station, you'll do it at the unit level. So basically, your truck, whether you're on a fire truck or a rescue, if you do like You might pull the truck out. Hey, let's go over the K12 saw. Let's go over the vent saw. Let's go over the roof ladder, roof hook, whatever. This is how you use it. Especially if you have a rookie on the truck, you're going to be actually getting more reps, obviously, because we got to get the rookie up to speed and see where they're at. How to pull the lines, close quarter, how to pull the hose line. So you're constantly doing this, right? You're doing it at the truck level, you're doing it at the station level, and then on the, usually on the weekends or sometimes during the week, we'll do battalion level drills. So we're doing like a big, large scale, garden style apartment fire type of thing. Knowing all that and all the stuff that went in before even becoming a paramedic. Now you're a paramedic, so now you're a firefighter paramedic. So this is the bare bones firefighter out there. I'm not talking about diver or TRT or hazmat or any of that. This is just your regular responding to everything out there. So you can see where there's a lot more to stay up to date with and a lot more to stay proficient with, right? So on any given day, you're out there and yeah, for the most part, the place isn't burning down and we're not going, depending on what district and what territory you're working, you're not getting, some places get more fire than others, but those are all things you got to stay up on, right? Because when you roll up, you can't have been like, well, I didn't pull a hose for 12 months. Like if a cop doesn't shoot their gun for 12 months, but they're out there, and that might happen. They might roll up on somebody and a person gets out, and it's a deadly force situation, and now they go to use it and they have the skills not there because it's a diminishing skill, right? And you have to stay up on it like anything. You have to know we're going to pull up. If you're the officer, you're reading the smoke. Everybody should be able to read the smoke and see what's happening in the structure. Pull the hose line, get to the front door, show up with the tools, get ready to go in. So these are things that firefighter paramedics are responsible for every day. So we're making sure that we're kind of going through all these pretty much bread and butter things that you do as a first in unit, as a second in unit, doing a forward lay, or connecting to the next suppression, and then catching a hydrant. And these are things you need to practice, right? So it's a lot. And that's for a fire. And then if you're coming in on another suppression and they ask you to go up on the roof, you need to know how to throw ladders, get up there with, safely with the tools, and yada, yada, yada. So, and we haven't even tackled the EMS aspect of it, right? So now you're pretty much, the majority of the calls on fire rescue department are going to be medical. So you're rolling up to that. You're showing up. It could be grandma with chest pain or a panic attack, or 20-year-old with a panic attack, or it could be the full-blown you walk in and it came in as a panic attack, and you walk in and it's a full-on code, and now you're doing cardiac arrest, ACLS. You need to know how to intubate, start a line, read that EKG, know how to give medications. If you have to, if it's a trauma call, you might need to crike, you might need to do a needle decompression. So these are all like drills, like we'll do EMS drills. So these are all things that over the year we're constantly doing. So you can see where one job at the same level on the street, it takes a lot more to learn and to maintain and things to stay proficient on than the other. You don't rise to the occasion. You fall back to the level of your training, right? So that's something to remember. Okay, so I hope I've given you some insight on both jobs and the amount of proficiency level that you have to maintain on both throughout your career. And if you want to get the chops, man, and you want to get the reps in, you got to go to a territory, if you have it in your department, where you're getting those high volume calls and you're getting the at-bats out there, right? If you're a rookie, you should not be in a station that runs 4 calls a day. It's just a disservice to you. It's a disservice to the department and ultimately to the community, okay? And then the one last thing that firefighters are responsible for, and it's probably the most important, right, is you got to learn how to cook, all right? So if you're a rookie, learn how to cook something, find it on Pinterest or Food Network or whatever, make it good, get good at it, because they're going to be judging you every few weeks when it's time, your turn to cook, all right? So I hope you found value in this video. Until the next one, stay safe out there.